After boarding for so many years, boarding just feels natural. Being in central London is just a privilege. I'm close to everything, so it's really good.
It's hectic because I have no idea where to go, because I can go everywhere around the central London. I can do it on walk, so sometimes I just end up leaving and not knowing where I'm going, but it's so cool.
No, it's very diverse, like there's really everything around you. So,
yeah, so everything is like 5 minutes away, so it's really cool.
The location is A1.
A1 for location.
The school has, it's like a big community, so it feels like you're all part of one big family, and there's always people to help you when you have problems, and there's always someone to talk to, and that includes friends, house parents, counselors.
Your group of boarders that are like of similar age and
Your group.
yeah, same gender.
Huddle is kind of like little, like kind of like families in the school. Like for a couple floors have they own Huddle, and it makes it easier to communicate with people and to meet people within the huddles.
We recently had a trip as a huddle, just yesterday. We took Sheila's huddle, the Jaguar huddle, we took them bowling for the Christmas trip. And another trip I've done was the Vista Village trip.
So this term I hadn't gone to many trips, but I went to the theater and the cinema because that's what I'm interested in, and it was really good and I had a lot of fun.
Each term we put on a fresh programme of trips and activities for the students. These might be trips outside the college or an activity based in the college. And we try and have a good range of trips that cover sport, wellbeing and culture.
Well, I went to ice skating trip twice, and it was really nice. The way that we are all like together with your friends, and also like house parents looking after you and trying to make sure that everything is safe and you're enjoying your trip.
The bonfire night, because it was really cold and then there were fireworks.
Mine was the England versus Croatia match on Wembley. Like it was sick. Trust me.
Yeah.
We have silent discos, we have quiz nights, inter-house sports competitions, bingo.
Yeah, bingo on a Friday night.
Yeah, karaoke, movie nights, ad hoc, whatever the students want to do really.
Our first day we went to this Monopoly challenge thing, and it was really nice because we got to see, it was my first time in London, so I got to see like places that is so like in pictures, so I got to see them in person.
Well, you have, first thing when you leave, you have to register in and out, so you have to say where you're going, and if you feel like it's saying who you're going with. You have their phone number all the time.
You can like text them as well.
Yeah,
So it's really easy.
really calm. And there's curfew, and there's registration, so 3 times a day you have to go to one classroom with your personal tutor and make sure that you are in school during that time. And yeah, and then you register back in when you come back.
We do have a curfew and all of these type of things, and you know there's some rules, but nothing that you wouldn't expect. I guess because we live in central London, we have so many things to do, and the curfews are really, really reasonable. Like we always have the opportunity to do so many things, and for example, if you wanted to see something like a play or something, and you extend it, you can talk to the house parents and they'll extend the curfew and stuff like this. Like you really have the freedom, obviously. Yeah.
I think is mainly find the person you're most comfortable talking to, and just go with that and find someone who helps.
First people to go to, I think, in my case, is like house parents.
Yeah, your hotel house parent.
Well, the head of Wellbeing is Mark Johnson, and there's well, there's more people working there, like student services and the nurse and stuff. It's pretty useful to go there, you know, like everyone is working. If you need something, you know, they'll definitely they'll work on it and stuff like that. So.
Whenever you have issues or you don't have friends or something, you can talk to them.
Okay, so I mean, first of all, the students can contact any house parent on duty, but if they particularly want to see me, they can look at the rota that's downstairs by reception and they can see exactly when I'm on. They can send me an email which will be passed on to me that I can respond to. They also know that when I'm on duty, they can come and get me, they can see me during the Huddle registration time.
All of the house parents share a phone number as well, so you can WhatsApp us or give us a phone call, text, WeChat, all of that. So if you need us, we're readily available.
My experience in this boarding school has been different in the way that this school is much more liberal than the others, in a good way, of course.
It is my first time living in other countries, so every day I'm very fresh and I'm good.
Like there's so many like different nationalities.
So many.
So there are a bunch of like, obviously in other schools there'll be bunches of like people in different like nationalities, but it's mixed. Like in DLD is different. Like there are different groups have different nationalities, so it's not like segmented. And
like if you take our group for example, we're all from the same continent, but we're like still diverse in our culture.
But for me, it was very organized. There were like a lot of members of the student council showing us around, like where to go to. It was very detailed. Like we weren't just left around hanging. We like every was processed, you know. So it was really interesting.
Yeah, you always knew where to go.
From the very first day that we came to the college, we had a couple of meetings, and where the house parents and all the staff, all the member of staff introduced us to the college and to the whole building and all the rules and everything we need to know when we're living in the center of London.
Well, for example, we have the Borders Committee in our school, which chooses one head of the huddle and 2 deputies, and that essentially builds up the leadership.
And we also have this huddle groups that each house parent have like a huddle, and we also have like 2 deputy head of huddle and 1 head of huddle, and so they can just help other people with like any issues or any problems they have in their room or anything about boarding.
First of all, there's the student council, and that's one way that they give leadership opportunities. Another way is head of huddle and the food committee, and yeah.
The school gives us leadership opportunities by being able to participate in different huddle and boarding related activities, like being head of huddle, head of food committee. It lets us kind of also take leadership for some of the actions of the younger ones with mentoring and just generally looking after the younger years. And I feel like there's generally a lot of opportunities for you to kind of step up and be in charge.
Within the Wellbeing Centre there is a team of colleagues. We all work well together to try and meet their health needs, emotional needs of any students that are within the college.
Students can come for all kinds of things. It could be just one-offs or regular booked sessions. It could be to do with anxiety, depression, relationship issues, bullying. The list is not exhaustive, it's anything and everything basically.
There are some differences based on the understanding of medications. That's one thing. Lots of international students tend to come with a care package from their families, which includes lots of different medications. So the translation of medications can sometimes be a challenge, but it's easy to overcome in that we can provide the same medication that students are requesting, but you know, with a UK standard That's really the only difference.
Yeah, there are lots of international students, so sometimes that means that I have to really work a bit harder to understand, because there might be different cultural differences. So, for example, different concepts of shame, you know, people might find it a bit harder to open up, but I find it really fascinating, so I just might slow the pace down a bit, or I do loads of research actually. I'm reading loads about different cultures all the time, so to help with that.
What would I say about working in an international school? The mixture of different cultures all coming together, working together, living under the same roof, learning things from each other. I've learned stuff about different countries just through the students and engaging with the different students from different places.
Community.
The fact that it does actually kind of feel like a family. Like once you're living here, it's not like you just, I mean, I guess some people do, but you know, you don't lock yourself in the room and stuff. You can come downstairs, just chat with the house parents, or just walk around, chat with your friends. You have so many things to do. It does feel it does feel like home in the end, you know. Like,
it really does. That the way that we're like so comfortable in the in boarding, and you can actually like trust people, and like everyone, like all the member of staff, they're like so friendly that you can actually like count on them in every situation.